Hello and welcome back to the channel. The new season is nearly upon us, and yesterday we watched Arsenal beat Man City 3-0 to win the Community Shield. I watched the game, and after the game I recorded a little bit of analysis and shared my thoughts of the players and tactics, formations, etc. So I just thought I'd share with you that information in case it helps you build your Sun Dream team this season. So let's get started. So I was quite surprised at the strong lineups, but I was very happy because it meant for a very exciting game. It was very quite fast paced, quite open. So that obviously as a neutral fan, that was quite exciting to see. So Arsenal won 3-0, fully deserved. Man City looked really poor. I'll talk about that shortly. But if we just go to the stats. So it doesn't really show the whole story. I mean, Arsenal had less possession, which I suppose is not surprising against Manchester City. But the shots would say that Man City had 12 shots against 9 for Arsenal, and then they both had 5 shots on target each. But honestly, this just shows one half of the story. It really was a dominant display by Arsenal. They looked fantastic. They looked like a team. They looked like they were happy and having fun following their title win last year. Yeah, I mean, they scored within the first minute, and it was Calafiori. So he's in on the goal again. I mean, I have touched on in previous videos that he didn't actually have many attacking returns last season. But I think what we did see last season is he did have quite a few tight offsides and things like that. So all things considered, he still sort of has that attacking threat. I mean, watching the game, he was the furthest forward of the defenders as usual, cutting in sometimes in midfield and then driving up to the box. He could have had another goal. He got into a really good position in the box as well. So safe to say he still poses that threat, and he's been obviously told to be the more advanced player. So he did start, but again he came off just before 60 minutes, I think, for Hincapié. So I think he is preferred overall, but we just don't know how many minutes he's going to get, because Hincapié can just fill in that slot really well. And, you know, Calafiori is more attacking, and I guess when they want to defend going forward, it's very likely they would make that switch and bring Hincapié on. So that is the stats. So Calafiori scored the goal following Miles Lewis-Skelly's assist. Lewis-Skelly was in the midfield again. He's played a couple of games in pre-season in the midfield, and he looked really good. He looked like he owned the space really well. We hadn't seen much of him in that position, but he performed really well. Is he going to be in midfield for the upcoming season? I mean, I don't know why they'd drop him out, to be honest, because he's playing so well. But of course, you've got Rice and Guimaraes as backups and Zubimendi. I must say, Arsenal's squad is looking heavy. It's looking loaded in all of the positions. It's just amazing how much depth that they have. So they played in the 4-2-3-1 formation. A lot of the time last season they played in a 4-3-3. So they had sort of the 3 midfielders. So, you know, if they play 4-3-3 going forward, they could have, you know, 3 of the midfielders in there. But if they're going to play this formation, there's only space for 2. So Lewis-Skelly, who's done well, Bruno is their big £74 million signing or something around that price. But of course that means that Rice is not in the team, and Zubimendi, who did so well together last season. So this is what I mean. The depth is huge. So Odegaard played in this advanced position in the number 10 role today, and he was absolutely thriving. He didn't have the best season last season. He was pretty anonymous. There was people saying that he should be moved on and all sorts. But he did absolutely amazing today, and he came up with a goal 48 minutes, and it was a really well cheeky taken goal by Odegaard from that number 10 position. And look at this, Solis coming up with 2 more assists. Amazing. I'm a big fan of his. I've said it in my videos so far. He's in my team to start the season. He's come up with 1 goal and 4 assists before this game in pre-season. He's got another 2 assists. Quite remarkable. 6 assists in total for Solis in pre-season. And he started every pre-season game. And also, Martinelli was not in the squad at all. There were talks around a move away in the week, so I think that's very telling. Considering Solis has played every single game in the pre-season, I'm leaning towards him starting against Coventry now. In defence, we had who we probably expected to start, Raya in goal, who did amazing. He owned that space. He did make 2 fantastic saves from some of the Manchester City players. Then he had White, Mosquera and Gabriel as the centre-backs and Calafiori. So probably what we expected. It was only Calafiori that was substituted. Again, it's just something that's probably going to happen, to be honest, because he is more attacking, and Hincapié can just take over quite easily. Guimaraes and Lewis Skelly in the middle. So Guimaraes did okay. He was much deeper than for Newcastle, I thought, in this particular game, but he did spread the play a couple of times. Lewis Skelly appeared to be a little bit more deeper than Guimaraes. And then the attacking line had Madueke. I mean, that didn't surprise me again, Madueke starting. He seemed to start more than Saka last season, and again, he just doesn't seem to have that final pass, does he, Madueke? He just seems to just overdo it all the time. Yes, he's got the pace, but yeah, he's certainly not one for fantasy football. Odegaard, as I say, was in that number 10, so he played a lot in like a midfield 3 last season and was pretty anonymous and didn't do as well. But today, he was absolutely fantastic in this position, and I don't see why he would be dropped after that performance. I think Eze's got 0 chance of starting a game or playing the majority of games at the moment going forward if Odegaard can continue this great sort of performances going forward. And of course, he is the captain, so he's going to be in that number 10 if they go with this formation. And I don't see why they would change it, really. I mean, they've just played Manchester City, who are very attacking, and they've gone with this formation. So yeah, I think if Odegaard is going to remain in this position, perhaps he is one to target if they are in this formation going forward. Solis I've talked about, and then it was Havertz that started over Gyökeres. Havertz did very well, very good at holding up the play. He obviously got his goal following an assist via the head of Solis. He looked very good, so still there's just that bit of doubt who starts. I mean, it could be Gyökeres that starts the first game at home against his former club Coventry. We just don't know until we see the lineups. Substitutes then, obviously we talked about Hincapié coming on, Calafiori, Zubimendi and Rice, the other 2 midfielders replacing those 2 in midfield, so like for like, all very good. Eze coming on for Odegaard at 84 minutes, so as I say, I really don't think he's going to get much game time, Eze. And Saka replacing Madueke at 60. We've seen that quite a lot last season. And Gyökeres replacing Havertz. So there we have the lineup and what happened with Arsenal. And then City. So same formation. Kassanov, Diaz and Guardiola, with O'Reilly tucking in much like Calafiori, but wasn't getting anywhere near as far forward as I remember him from last season. So new signing, £116 million Anderson in midfield with Kovacic Kovacic is now 32 years old. He had an injury hit season last season, so he did okay. And Anderson, I'm afraid it was just an okay performance. He got a few crosses into the box and he took half the corners along with Foden, but not a performance that is really going to stick in the memory, to be honest. They very much missed Rodri. Quite a lot of games last season they played sort of like a 4-1-4-1. So Rodri was just that holding midfielder and they just had so much more attack. In this game, what I observed was that because you had sort of the two holding, Anderson and Kovacic, Foden was coming quite deep to collect the ball, and he did do a good job in that because he drove forward really quickly. I thought a lot of the play went through Foden as opposed to the wingers. It's Semenyo and Doku, personally. But then Foden came off quite early, and I just think they just got a bit worse after that, to be honest. Cherki came on for Foden, very different kind of player, more sort of short passes, nicey tricks and stuff, but I didn't think he looked good. Few loose passes. Yeah, I think he's been a bit poor for a while now. He obviously didn't start a lot in the World Cup. Well, he didn't really. He just come on for substitute appearances, and even in those games I just thought he just looked really poor. He just needs to sharpen up a little bit. Cherki does. Foden looked decent considering he didn't play much last season. He's obviously had a good pre-season and he did look really decent. Doku, he did go off at half time for Grealish, who is back for now anyway. Doku appeared to have ice on his calf at half time, so that's something to keep an eye on. He might be, injured, so we'll just have to wait for some news with that. Grealish came on, was pretty anonymous, to be quite honest, a bit rusty. And then Semenyo on the other side, so he's going to be a guaranteed starter for the games upcoming because the only other player that they could have on that side is Savinho, really. I'll just check if he was he wasn't even on the substitute bench, so that's quite telling, really. Because if they sell Savinho, I'm not sure who else could play on that right, who's familiar with playing on that right-hand side. So that's quite interesting. I think Semenyo is going to be guaranteed 90 minutes throughout. He did have one shot on target, but it was towards the end of the game. He's provided 5 assists in pre-season, but today he just looked really wide on the touchline, really. He didn't really look that threatening. And in the fantasy is 6 million. I think at the moment I'm okay to go without him. I am going without him. He's not in my team at the moment, but based on today's performance, yeah, it's not really worrying me that I don't have him yet in my team. Overall, I just thought Man City was so poor. They were really poor at stringing passes together. Barely any threat. Haaland didn't quite have the service. I think if Anderson improved on his crosses into Haaland, I think Haaland could grab a few goals. He did have a shot, but it was straight at the keeper. I still think, it was good to see Haaland start this game. I think, therefore, he will start the game at home to Bournemouth, and I think Man City will be far better. They'll probably have a bit of a tough talking to, but I think they'll be far better at the start of the season at home as well. So, probably going to lean towards Haaland still being the captain for my fantasy game. Marmoush came on for Haaland. I think it was not long after half time. Didn't really do much either, to be honest. So that was Man City. Nico came on at 79 minutes, had a bit of energy, so they could be okay going forward. When Lewis came on, I didn't quite know where he was playing, to be quite honest. Yeah, and we've covered everybody else. The only player that could start, Aït-Nouri, possibly in the defence. So, defence, I don't know if this is secure. Aït-Nouri, we have seen him in pre-season play sort of a left wing role as well, and he's scored a goal. So that could possibly happen if they need an extra forward player. So just a summary of the game the day after. I have recorded what you've just listened to. So in summary, Arsenal played fantastically well as a unit. Great solid defence once again. Calafiori started over Hincapié and scored a goal within the first minute. He looked incredibly attacking. He kept getting into the box. So I think he's one to target. I think he's first choice, but he will have the chance of coming off for Hincapié around the hour mark. I think given his injury record, they want to protect him, but also Hincapié can just do the role so well as well. In midfield, it was Bruno and Lewis Skelly got the nod. Lewis Skelly's doing great in pre-season, but we've also got Rice and Zubimendi that can come on and do those jobs quite well as well. So I think for now, the midfield area is just an avoid in the dream team at the moment. Madueke did start over Saka. We don't know who's going to start on that right-hand side, so I would wait until the lineups before putting Saka in your team. If he does start, then Saka's a great option. Odegaard did amazing in this number 10 role. If he is staying in that role going forward, then he's definitely a consideration for an Arsenal player to have in your team. Solis, yeah, it was great to see him play in the flesh, really. We saw his stats pre-season, just cemented my decision in having him for the start of the season, providing he starts the next game, which I think is very likely because Martinelli wasn't in the squad at all. Havertz was up front, but there could be a chance Gyökeres could start that game against his former club Coventry. So great performance by Arsenal. Man City, on the other hand, not great at all. They didn't seem to click, lots of loose passes. They missed Rodri a lot. He's now gone. We've learned of this morning he's now gone to Barcelona, so he's going to be a massive miss. Anderson, big money signing, just started in midfield. Not a performance to stick in the memory, but I'm sure he'll get a bit better. Kovacic started, but I think Nico will share minutes with him, and there are talks this morning of them pursuing interest in Boadi. And then there's all that other background noise going on regarding Enzo. They definitely need someone else to be able to choose within that midfield because it wasn't great at all. The back line, they've actually got a few more players they could have picked. Guéhi was on the bench, as was Aït-Nouri. So apart from Diaz, who's the captain this season and is going to definitely start in defence, but he doesn't offer any way of attacking threat in Dream Team, so you're not really going to have him. I'm not sure who else is secure, really. Possibly O'Reilly would be the next player secure, just because he's can go forward a bit. So I wouldn't risk going with a Man City defender at this point until we watch a few games to see who seems to be favoured. Up front, Semenyo and Doku I thought was very wide. Lots of the play went through Foden. So Foden, he looked good, but didn't offer any attacking threat really. Much like many games in pre-season, it appeared. He looked sharp, but just not. He didn't get any returns, of course. And Haaland did start, so that was great to see. So I think he's going to start that first game against Bournemouth. So we've got the assurity of him starting now, but he did come off at half time. So I'm not too worried about that. It's probably just a fitness thing. It's good to see him start the game. So there you have it. A great game of football. Arsenal look fantastic. So let me know what you thought of the game. Any new players you've brought into your team after watching the game. Any players you've taken out of your team. Pop them in the comments below. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.